I wonder what's actually going to happen here. Are we just going to hit that first platform and die? Or are we just going to hit that platform and explode? Are we going to break the stabilizer glitch? I mean, there's so many possibilities, but here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Oh boy. Oh boy. I better not overshoot this. Oh, I think I overshot it. Oh no. What's up, guys? My name is Khan, and we're back today in Scrap Mechanic with an epic rebuild that's a long time coming, and that is this awesome... No, it's not this. It's that awesome sky platform up there. So I originally built a sky platform a long time ago using the anti-gravity module from Mini's mod pack as well as Mini's stabilizer block, but it had some issues, mainly flying outside of the map. So I decided to go back and rebuild a much better sky platform using a combination of Mini's stabilizer block as well as the gravity module from the mod pack, just so we can manipulate the values a little more directly. And we'll take our coax and just fly up to that platform. You can see it's very, very stable, and we should have no problem landing this coax on it. Bring her in for a nice touchdown. Nice touchdown. And perfect. Amazing. So here we've got our lovely sky platform, and just like before, it of course uses anti-gravity and the stabilizer block, so we can in fact extend this out as far as we want in any direction, and it won't affect the platform. It might have a little bit of an adjustment time as it stabilizes it, but as long as these pieces are connected, it'll be fine. If we had a free-floating piece, like something was disconnected and standing on it, then that weight would of course affect the platform. But anything attached to the platform will remain attached without any sort of issue. And you can see the platform remains level. Now, technically speaking, the platform is holding up the weight of this object. So if we were to have enough objects on the platform, the gravity would fall. But overall, it's still pretty stable, and you need a lot of weight to make it actually push down. Needless to say, it can hold a lot of weight. We can put little, vehicles on this and have little cars if we wanted to. But let's just hop into the control room. So of course, we get into the control room. We've got this, piston elevator in the middle. You can hit that switch here from underneath if we want to bring that back down. And of course, we can put it back up. Then of course, we've got our emergency access door. Safety first, keep that door closed. And we can walk on this glass. Really, really cool glass from the mod pack. I really like it. And then, of course, we've got all the control systems. So here on the one side, we've got our anti-gravity module. We've got our stabilizer block. We've got our on-off switch. So you got to make sure this switch is turned on. If we turn it off, the entire thing will drop from the sky. And then we've got our altitude set. So this 399 here, this is our current altitude. And that's where the craft thinks it is. And then, of course, this 400 is the desired altitude. So it's usually within about 1 block. But it does, in fact, use a PID block here to give us a gravity value. So the PID is a function that allows you to compare two values and kind of adjust them according to each other. And long story short, we basically feed in the desired height of 400. We feed it our current height of 399. And based on these three factors here, it actually calculates negative 0.008 difference between these two heights. So it uses an error curve to kind of adjust itself. And what this allows us to do is make a really, really stable gravity propelled system. So this value here is actually being fed into the gravity module. So it's actually giving us negative gravity right now to kind of keep us up in the air. And as we put more weight on the system, and as this number drops away from the PID, this value will increase. Now it does have a maximum, I believe, of 0.1 or 0.2. And that's just to make sure it doesn't move too quick. But a PID is a really, really cool system that basically allows this to auto-adjust itself. And if we change the height to, let's say, 500, you can see it's might do a little bit of bouncing here. But you can see the PID goes up to that max value of 0.2, and it'll bounce. And you'll see we'll probably go past 500, which we will. And now the value will scale itself in the opposite direction. And it will slowly adjust itself to the error curve. And it'll probably go back past it to 499, 498. And then you'll see it'll slowly scale itself back up. And so it'll wobble a little bit back and forth, but then it'll set at a really, really stable level once it gets, now you can see it won't move from 499 pretty much ever. And it'll just keep adjusting itself ever so slightly to maintain that perfect value alignment. It's a really, really useful block to use to kind of zone in on a value. On the old Sky platform, we just had like a negative gravity block and a positive gravity block. And because it kept going past the point that you want it to be at, it would kind of bob up and down in the air. But this platform stays super, super stable because of that PID doing constant adjustments. And if you build more weight onto it or you move the platform a little bit, the PID will scale itself. Now, of course, to that maximum of 0.2. If you add so much weight, that 0.2 negative gravity isn't enough to lift it, then of course it'll actually fall down to the ground. It's a really, really cool system, and you can use PIDs to do all sorts of hovering systems and pretty much anything where you want to zone in on a specific value by comparing a sensor input to a set value. And then of course, over here we've got our second control panel, and I mean, it's pretty obvious what this one does, but this is just our sort of thruster manipulation. So there's thrusters built around the outside here, and this is our net thruster power. So we can of course adjust that power just by hitting this block, and we can paint it different colors to go in different directions. And then of course we can press, you know, these buttons to move. So we can slide in each direction. And you can see we can just do that, no problem. And of course we can rotate by hitting the yellow blocks, and we can rotate our whole platform. And finally, the entire thing keeps itself stable with this stabilizer block. So we don't want to press E on it. It's on weak vehicle stabilization. Mini has made a lot of improvements to that stabilizer block, so it shouldn't glitch this creation out unless you know, really hit it hard with something. But overall, it's just a pretty awesome little sky base here, and we can of course build whatever we want onto it, expand it to whatever we want, set it to whatever height we want, and of course move it to whatever position we want. So it's a really, really cool base. I'm really excited about it because I've always wanted to have a nice stable sky base, and the last one was cool, but I mean, it definitely had some issues, and I wasn't too thrilled about that. So this one I think is a lot better, especially because it uses that PID function to just maintain, you can see, a super, super stable hover. So we could have just a massive base up here. We could make this one platform into an entire city and have the whole thing extended out, and it wouldn't have any issues. So really, really cool stuff, and I'm really glad it works a lot better now with the stabilizer. So let me know, of course, what you think of this build in the comments down below. But I think what we're going to do right now is we're going to bring this one back down to the ground. We'll just drop it from the sky, which might be a problem, but you know what? We flew through the roof. You know what? This might hurt a little bit. Oh, you know, actually not too bad. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna line up a bunch of them along here, and we're gonna put them at different heights. I think we'll separate them by maybe 50 block height intervals, and we'll spawn them in a line down here. And on the last one, we'll put a vehicle on the top. So there's a few different ways to get a vehicle up. The easiest way to do it is just to weld it to a post on the top and then delete the post. But we'll put a vehicle on the one, and we'll have them kind of dropping down in 50 block heights. And I think what we'll be able to do is drive the vehicle from one, land on the next one, land on the next one, and on the next one, just to prove these are super, super stable sky platforms. Of course, I will upload this to the workshop. If you want to build your own sky city on it, you could add turrets to this, all sorts of cool stuff. And of course, the stabilizer block, it doesn't activate unless you're elevated off the ground. So if you're within 10 blocks of the ground, there's a sensor under there. It keeps the stabilizer block deactivated, which should prevent this thing from hitting the ground and going glitching through the terrain or any weird stuff like that. It is also set to the weak stabilizer mode, so just make sure you don't touch that block and you should be fine. So this one will set to a height of 100. This will be the lowest one. And we'll get out here and we'll close. You know what? It doesn't matter. The door doesn't need to be closed. It's fine. All right, so we've got our Humvee, and we're just gonna jump up here. We're just gonna attach it like so. We'll just build a big pillar, and we'll grab it on the back. Oh, shoot. That back doesn't. Okay, hold on. We'll grab it on the side. That's fine. I didn't realize that back actually is a part of a controller. There we go. Perfect. All right. A little bit frame ratey. But once we get up to 500, we should be able to do the most epic stunt in all of scrap mechanic history, as long as these platforms don't hit each other. I really hope they don't hit each other. Look at that. We can even drive right over the piston. It doesn't even notice. Really, really cool stuff. I know a lot of people were talking to me about remaking Hover City or something like that, and I thought, you know, I've got to remake the Sky platform and make it a whole lot better and make it super stable. So obviously this is a little laggy. You shouldn't probably have 5 separate Sky platforms on the same map. I mean, you could have one and make it massive, right? You don't need an individual gravity module for each one. But of course, let me know what you guys think of this platform. Download it if you want to make your own Sky City, and I think it would be really cool to make a bunch of different platforms that do different things. Like, it would be really cool, for example, to have a big runway sky platform, and I'm sure you could do it with just a single one of these, or to remake like a whole city on a single platform and just expand it out as much as you want. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think, and of course, I will put the workshop link in the description. All right, so I think we're actually a lot higher up above these platforms than I thought. I'm gonna just peek through the window and see. Oh, we're only even at 478, 480, not even at the 500 yet, so we're really gonna be really high above these platforms. Holy cow. Okay, this might be a lot easier than I thought, at least to get that first platform. I wonder what's actually going to happen here. Are we just going to hit that first platform and die? Or are we just going to hit that platform and explode? Are we going to break the stabilizer glitch? I mean, there's so many possibilities, but here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Oh boy. Oh boy. I better not overshoot this. Oh, I think I overshot it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're alive. All right, so we survived one platform landing. This is extremely good. We'll just put our vehicle back. Now let's see if we can make it to platform number 2. And you can see how stable these platforms are, even when we slam into it. I mean, obviously, you don't want to continuously slam into it, but with that weak vehicle stabilizer, it doesn't just completely destroy the creation and send it flying off to oblivion. You can see the platform kind of shudders a bit, and then it reacts, and then it stabilizes itself. So let's see if we can actually land this one a little bit. It's really hard to judge the speed when it's kind of frame ratey, but of course, we do have 5 platforms on the map, and we probably should have a few less. Oh, look at this. We're going to land this one. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Nice. All right. This one's a little bit further of a jump. Might have to just give it a little bit more speed. Here we go. Oh, easy mode. Easy mode. Nice. Perfect. And one final platform. All right. This is no problem. Look at this. We're going to do a front flip. Ready? Front flip. Front flip. 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 No, we're not going to front flip. Oh, stay on the platform. So we've actually deleted 2 of the platforms, and now we just have 3. And you can actually see with 3 platforms, it is very, very good for the frame rate. So you could have multiple platforms on the map, but of course, like I said, we could just expand one platform out pretty much as large as we want, and it would still be able to do all the same stuff. So of course, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think we should do with these platforms? What kind of bases do you think we should make? I'd like to have a bunch of different style of platforms. I think trying to make one massive city would be ridiculous, but of course the cool thing about it is it's a 2-block thick platform. We can of course expand that, but we can also make stuff that hangs below it and travels below it, and have, like, you know, the sewer system on a city is below ground. Well, you could have stuff that's below the platform on a sky city, and it would be really, really cool. But of course, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and while you're at it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time.